Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's a fantastic morning. Tell you what, it's a bit hit or a miss whether it's going to rain or no, But I've taken the risk. I've come out a anorak or whatever you call it, a cagoule. I'm not really sure what we call it now. Running jacket? Don't know. Passionate people. 20 essential habits of highly passionate people. A lot of people often accuse me of having quite a high passion. Yesterday I sat in 4 different homes and that came up every single time that they realised I was so passionate about what I did. For me personally, I have the greatest job in the world. I get to sit in people's houses and show them the way to the successful path for a successful outcome. To me, it's so simple because I understand the whole process from start to finish. And it's how to communicate that to everybody else. I get to do that. Probably the greatest job in the world. Love it. So yesterday we spoke about, well, let's recap, highly passionate people are just lucky. Well, we know that's not the case, The practice. Jack Nicklaus? No, Gary Player. The more I practice, the luckier I get. They share common characteristics. They work hard and they rely on their intuition and they persevere. There's nothing special really required. You don't really have to be gifted. You don't need permission and you can follow what makes you come to life. Morning Carl, morning Louise, morning Anne. The only thing holding you back, remember, are the stories that you tell yourself every single day. Morning Louise. So yesterday we spoke about self-motivated, generous, acceptance, prioritised. The next 4 habits of highly passionate people. Good morning, Anne-Marie. And how you can mimic this to help you become successful in anything you do. Non-balance. It's an odd phrase for me, non-balance. What's that all about? I'll explain. Passionate people don't get stuck in unhelpful concepts. Personally, I have the tendency to get obsessed. Anne-Marie, you're probably laughing at this point in time with things that I'm interested in. Now there's a surprise. I don't really worry about balance. Balance has its place, but I listen to my inner guidance, first and foremost. The triggers that help me know that I'm becoming too obsessive. I have noticed a pattern in my life. I tend to be interested in something for anywhere from 3 months to a few years, and then some, still interested in learning all the time. I extract what I need and then I move on. I'm quite clinical in that way, and you could probably hear that in the way I'm saying things. It often frustrates others because they don't understand why. They don't get me because of that, because I've become quite obsessive and clinical in my process. Some interests remain, like reading, learning, teaching, creating, and disrupting. I love disrupting. I'll maybe tell you about that one day. Start paying attention to the patterns in your life which move you. Your life doesn't have to be balanced every 24 hours, or every week, or even every decade. Don't force your life into a mould that really doesn't fit. Morning, Francis. Go with the flow. I tell everyone I meet that what I do is just an extension of me. It's not really work. It's just me. That's who I am. Morning, Andrea. What if following your interest naturally leads to a balance your life needs? And that's the balance. It doesn't seem like anything. It's just part of what you do. It's natural. So personal power. Well, when I got out of school at 17 years old, my personal power level was really, really low. I've discussed this previously. I wasn't in a good place. As the years passed, I learned really to trust my gut. At first, I was hesitant to follow it because we were never really taught this at school or from our peers, as there was always a mould that society wanted us to fit into. So everything was designed and socially conditioned for me to fit into that mould. With time, I saw positive results. My mind even got on board to some extent. because I could see that following my intuition led to an interesting life. I mean, I still make mistakes. Morning, Julie. But I don't worry about it anymore. Life is quite fluid. I thought I saw a squirrel. One mistake isn't really going to ruin my life. And I often think about when I do things like that, will it really matter in 5 years? No, I'll probably forget all about it. So why let it bother you now? And that's really the key. I can only do what I can do. Worrying about trying to do something that I can't is pointless. It's wasted energy. We all want someone to tell us that we're on the right track. But it's not until you begin to trust yourself and that you grab hold of the opportunity and your destiny that you realise you are on the right track. You don't really have to force this to happen. It happens naturally as you go throughout life. You eventually discover that no one knows your life better than you. Happiness. Someone once said, people suffer when they pursue a life or chase a dream that doesn't really belong to them. As I said before, my mother and my father always wanted me to be an accountant. So it took quite a while actually to get out of that mould. Happiness is living a life that's true to your beliefs and in alignment with your core values. It's not about what the mind wants or what I think would make me happy. It's about trusting life and walking a path that was made for me. Morning, Jimmy. Are your pursuits what you think you want, basically influenced by the media and others around you, or are you actually going after things that fire you up? The latter is quite difficult because it means you have to step out your comfort zone. That's a big one. Most people run away from their true path because they focus on the how, and we talked about this before, and they don't know the why. So it becomes so difficult when they get to a challenge. So the key is to have fun. Yeah, there's a need for discipline, but there's also a need to have fun. Being too focused on discipline means that you'll most likely believe that achievements can't bring lasting happiness. You alone have to discover this is not really the case. I can vouch for that. With winning, I could vouch for that really, with winning numerous awards and praise from everyone else, and everybody else thinks I'm fantastic and all the rest of it, but really, it's all just temporary measure, it's all just external motivation. You have to have it within you to drive yourself forward. No one else can do that for you. As I said to someone the other day, no one else is responsible for how you react, except yourself. You can find fun in even your tedious task. This is because we feel the world through our own thoughts and emotions. Take what I'm doing right now. I mean, this to me is really fun. It has become fun now because I interact with you guys. We live a life of virtual reality, of our own making really, and it's all in our mind. But what changes is not the tedious task, but it's how we relate to it. There's no need to force. Let life live itself. Do your best and enjoy the ride. And remember, life is not a dress rehearsal. You only really go around once and you're not coming back. So why on earth are you doing what you're doing right now? Just enjoy the ride. And if you're not, change it. And I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30.